I'm Christine Dunbar from SpeechModification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent Training. In this video, we'll look at how native speakers speak fluently by reducing and linking words. So we're going to look at the phrase, what do you want to talk about how it looks when we write it, and how it sounds when we say it naturally and easily in American English. So I chose this phrase, what do you want to talk about, because we have a lot of opportunities to look at how we link and reduce sounds in this phrase. When I write out the actual sounds that you'll hear native speakers say, it looks casual, it looks informal, it looks like it might not be correct. But 9 times out of 10, this is what you're actually going to hear when a native speaker says this phrase. They aren't going to be saying, what do you want to talk about? Even though each of those words is correct by itself, when we put words together, we change how we pronounce them so we can have fluent, natural sounding speech. To do that, we link things together and reduce sounds. Let me break this down for you word by word, phrase by phrase, so you can understand what I mean. So if I just say the word what, I might say that T sound, or I might use a stop T, what. When I have what do, I'm going to be using what's called the stopped T. And that means that I'm not going to use a T sound and a D sound. Not what do, but what do, what do. So I'm going to go up to make the T. I'm not going to let any air out. I'll just drop my tongue back down to make the D. And it sounds like what do, what do. However, it doesn't actually sound like what do, because I'm going to reduce this vowel for the oo, and it's going to sound like vowel schwa. What are ya? So the oo sound in both do and you is going to change to an in both. This is a reduction that we typically do on words like do, you, to, etc. when they're unstressed. So in the phrase, what do you want to talk about? The important words are what, want, talk, and maybe about. The do, you, and to are all fast connecting words that have vowel reductions. So rather than what do you, what do you want? I can say what do you want. I can put an oo in there. What do you want? What do you want? So it's not essential that I have the sounds instead of oos, but if you slow down and listen, if you take a video and you slow it down, you listen to someone saying, what do you want to talk about? You'll probably hear schwas in a lot of cases rather than what do you, what do you want to talk about? So that's something that you can work towards when you're looking at fluent speech. The reason that we would be doing that or want to do that is that it'll help you move faster and you'll still have all of your accurate sounds. So we didn't sit down together and decide, oh, let's not say do, let's say duh. It just happens as a natural consequence of how our tongue moves and where it's located as we're speaking fluently in American English. So from what do you to what do ya, this all kind of links together. And then looking at want to talk, you are probably aware often want to becomes wanna. So this is one that's maybe a little bit more casual. If you're talking with your boss at work and they say, what do you want to do it? You might not say I wanna, you might say I want to, or I wanna do it. But it's actually so common that frequently when we're saying want to, we're actually saying wanna. What's happening there is that in NT blends, same thing of linking that what do, where what do happens, instead of want to, we can either say one T, want to, or it ends up being, again, the to becomes a schwa, sounds like ta or duh, and then in NT blends, we often leave the T off. So wanna comes from the T dropping out entirely, so then we end up dropping this T as well and changing that oo to an Other examples of NT where we drop it, things like internet, we tend to say internet, international, etc. And then want to talk about. We do link talk and about together, talk about. But we don't really change anything in those two words because talk is an important word for understanding here, and about comes at the end, and it's also an important word. So even in just a simple everyday phrase with how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. What do you want to talk about? We have lots of linking and reductions and lots of changes. This idea or this strategy I like to call real talk, and I have an online course and some videos on YouTube breaking down many phrases and showing you how to use this technique when you're listening to American television, American movies, being able to recognize that we aren't speaking word by word, but rather as we're connecting things together, our speech changes. And it's not necessary to, you don't have to adopt these to be understood, but it'll be one of the places where if you are aware of them and you're listening to English, you might find you already do some of these types of linking and reductions in your speech. And it can help you if you're working on making, for example, pronouncing the T sounds at the ends of words. It's usually simpler and easier to adopt some of these types of patterns because they arise naturally from the overall English, American English accent and speech. So again, optional, but good to know about and good to explore and use if you're one of the more advanced users of English and you want to have some more of that native-like and fluent sounds. So this was an example to highlight that for you. You can check out the rest of our Real Talk playlist as well as our Real Talk course on our website, speechmodification.com. Go to our courses page and look for Real Talk if that's something that is of interest to you. It teaches you how to use this technique yourself in your speech, as well as using American TV and movies in order to be able to listen for and adopt reduced sounds and linking. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye everyone. Hope to see you again soon.